Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I
Long time
can
no see.
I know really, really long time long. I just I cannot start any of our episodes without being like, "Hi." I feel so weird just being like, "And for the next episode."
I know it's the dumbest thing, but it's awkward. It's
It
weird.
is.
We're just not. We don't have that like radio personality, I guess. So like the disc jockey
The
type.
jock.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they could just be on in a heartbeat.
Just on, just it's Chris Duncan coming to you live from the Paranormal Studios. Evidence Autopsy.
Maybe you should start it that way. I kind of like it.
I need to turn the lights off and then have them come on then. So there's
Oh
like
yeah,
some,
like a
yeah,
fade in. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Well, until we can figure out those graphics, we can get our own recording right. But anyways, I am doing a paranormal episode for you. Obviously, that's the YouTube link that you clicked on to see us today. This one is going to be I'm finishing. Well, no, I'm not. I am trying to finish up some of the evidence from the Brookstown Inn in Winston-Salem. Um, yeah, I did my best this week to get as much of it finished up for today. There's a lot. So like the good news is I got a lot for you. Bad news and bad news and bad news. It's a lot of very quiet voices. I will most likely have more down the road. Um, and the biggest bummer is that I took the XLS there, to use for the first time, and the card is a brand new card, but the files are corrupt. I cannot retrieve the files off of the card. Um, I had Brandon look at it like right away when I first found out like what's wrong with these files, and he's like, "What did you do?" And we've messed around with it for a long time, and he's like, "Yeah, these are just corrupt. They're trash." And I'm like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me. There's gotta be something." He's like, "No, I can't." And he moved them into the trash, and I moved them out of the trash because I'm like, I can't. I can't just let this go. Like, I don't know if I'm just gonna eject that card and keep it safe and until there's some other technology that comes around that can move that those files into a non-corrupt state. But as of right now, I can't see anything that the XLS recorded.
Is it or did the machine come with a card and that
No,
is the card? No, it's a card
no.
you bought. Okay.
It is a card. It is a card that I bought, but I did my own tests at the house with that card and it worked fine. I didn't do an extensive test. So like I did like, onesie twosie, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. And okay, this is how it works. This is how I do this. This is how I move the file to the card. This is how I move the card, all of this up, I did all the tests basically. So Brandon thinks that I recorded for too long because I haven't done an extensive like 30-minute test at home. So I have to try it out a little bit more. And if I can do 30 minutes, then I'll try 45 minutes. And if I can do 45 minutes, then what the fuck happened to the information on the SD card? I really won't know. So as of today, I don't have any of that for you. But the first video that I'm going to share with you is actually one that's best watched in a very dark room because there's an image that appears on the XLS. And Wendy, you saw it. We were doing our call and doing the Estes method, and you saw something come up on the screen of the XLS. And you're like, oh my God, there's something there, there's something there. But I've got the headset on, I've got the mask on, I don't hear you, I don't see you, I don't know what's going on. And then later on, after I'm telling you about the voices, you tell me what you saw. The cool thing is that it happened a couple more times during that recording where the recording it's facing me, so you can kind of see that image appear in the lower right hand corner. I watched it a couple of times because I thought maybe it's a reflection from my glasses, like the light, my glasses, the XLS. But when I was recording the Estes method, I didn't have my glasses on.
Right. Yeah.
So the part that I captured on our call could have been a reflection from my glasses, but that doesn't explain what you saw. And further to that, there's a part in the video where it glitches. So I have a full length video on YouTube for you to go see if you so choose to of the Estes method and the dowsing rods. But the video that I'm about to go over isn't the full length. Just because I mean it's a full on like investigation, and I'm just going to highlight, the part that I just told you about, the thing, this little weird white image that appears in the lower corner. I'm going to show that to you. So like I said, best viewed in a dark room because it's a very small fuzzy white image that appears and then it's gone. I did draw a circle around it and I have an arrow pointed at one of them. I know, but
You
I
you know I love my circles.
you know I think you need it. Like okay, so I'll stop talking and share with you what I wanted to.
Yeah, let's see this.
Let's see it. Okay, so
Okay.
this jumps right into where Wendy's talking. She's asking the Estes method some questions. So that's what you're going to hear right in the
Okay, I'll
beginning.
keep working on it. Sanderson,
I'm
uh,
just going to jump right to where Wendy sees the image.
Stop.
are you happy to have a visitor? There's something going on in that screen behind Chris. I saw movement on that SLS camera in the corner, like the bottom right corner.
Yes.
Sasha, are you moving around the room? The lighting just changed in the room too for some reason. Maybe Chris did that, but she wouldn't know anything's happening in the room.
Right.
Sasha, are you on the other side of the table?
Samantha.
Did you say Samantha?
All right. So I think at this point, the Estes method happens to go on a little bit longer, just to so you can see what I was talking about and what Wendy sees. That's the XLS screen that's right behind me right there. And she's talking about seeing something kind of in the lower right corner of the screen. So I assume where my mouse is, that's the lower right corner of what you saw.
Yes.
Because that's where you'll be looking when the thing comes up that I see too, this area right here. So where it starts to happen is, let me jump to, okay, somewhere around here.
I don't know if the guy just yelled out Samantha. Maybe that's something completely different.
Maybe
The guy just yelled out Samantha. Maybe that's something completely different.
maybe the
The guy just yelled out Samantha. Maybe that's something completely different.
maybe the
So
stop.
the first time it comes up, and it comes up like three more times in this video, but so I have the original and then I have a zoomed in with the arrow and then I think it's just zoomed in. I just saw it and I don't even remember. Um, but you'll see what I see here is this light anomaly on the screen. But then what's even more interesting in this one clip is that then I see a light movement behind the camera. It's as if it leaves the screen here and goes out here. So I'll replay that again, just this one section.
I don't know if the guy just yelled out Samantha. Maybe that's something completely different.
Maybe
The guy just yelled out Samantha. Maybe that's something completely different.
maybe the stop.
The guy just yelled out Samantha. Maybe that's something completely different.
Maybe the
I don't know how well you can even see it because, like I said, you really need to sit in a dark room to see these images.
Yeah, I have a lot of light pollution on my end in my room right
Yeah.
now, but I can see, I can very
Okay.
faintly see what you're talking about. Yes. And
Okay.
so I wonder if it's not so much that the image was actually in front of the SLS on the screen and if it's just that it walked right by, like it's behind you, between you and the screen of the SLS, and then it walks into the room. It was never actually in front of the SLS in the proper spot for it to be picked up.
I buy that, yes, because there was a point too when we were doing our recording of the show, just like we're doing right now. And I told you later on when we were recording that I felt something like tug on the back of my hair, like up underneath, like in the back of my hair. And I thought it was
Hmm.
so weird. And I turned around and looked, and obviously there's nothing there. But the more and more that I investigated the evidence that I got from this room, it did really feel like they like to try and pay attention when I wasn't. Like they are sneaking up on me. They're looking over my shoulder. Oh shit, she's paying attention. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Let me go back to, creepily walking around the room instead of like in her face. So I buy that they were on this side of the camera passing by, and
Yeah.
it's more of like an orb or some kind of a white misty figure that we're catching on this side of the XLS, and then you see that light on the other side. Also, on the first review that I did of the Brookstown a couple of episodes back, when I was sharing again footage that you had recorded from like us doing, I don't know, a chat or a call. I saw a light source in that same area, but you just really couldn't see it. Again, you have to sit in a I mean, if you're not watching this sitting in a dark room, what are you doing? This is a paranormal show. Like, come on. But I thought it was interesting that I'm seeing it again. And I love this because you caught it and you're also like, but how could Chris have done that? Because she's not paying any attention. And maybe it's something to do with the laptop and how it's adjusting for the light, but we don't see it happening all that often. If it was just adjusting to the light, shouldn't it continue to happen? Like when your GoPro, it sees you and it's like, oh, where did you go? And the GoPro looks to find you. Like, okay, you get that it's not a spirit, it's a technical thing that piece of equipment is doing.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think I would think that that looks more like kind of like a mist like
Mhm.
figure to me,
Yeah,
versus an orb. But like, really, what is the difference? One's in a ball shape and one is free flowing, I guess you would say. I
yeah,
don't think it has anything to do with the reflection of your glasses or anything, only because when your eyes were completely covered, I saw something in that same area. So
right, right,
I just don't think that your glasses are gonna make a reflection like that, especially on the other side of the camera where the room is darker. But
right.
to defend those that might not watch this in full darkness,
Mhm.
same. I watch a lot of paranormal stuff at work. Don't tell anybody,
That's
but
true. Well, you're just squeezing it in where you can get it, right? It's like your podcast. You're not like stopping your work to do it. You're just like letting it play out while you're doing
no,
your work.
yeah, when I get to a point of like just it's data entry,
Yeah, yeah.
I just am mostly listening to it. And then anytime the investigator points out that they're seeing something, I
Uh-huh.
might,
Oh,
then put
yeah,
my eyes on it. So,
sure.
but yeah, I
I
still think you can faintly see it.
Okay. I've got this three more times coming up. So if you missed it one of those times, here you'll see it later in the show. Again, we're still chit-chatting about what we got from the Estes method. And I'm going to apologize to you in advance because one of these, Wendy, I think you're really going to hate the very last one. I slowed it down a lot.
Do I make ugly faces? I hate my
No,
face all the time, just so you know.
it's not that at all. Like I think it's lovely. Actually, you're laughing, but it gets slowed down a lot. I'm like, oh, Wendy's gonna hate me for this. Um, so
And my hair looks dirty in this video.
oh no, well, my hair is very. I had to wear my hair up today because it was a million degrees outside, and after I pulled it down, I have kind of like the hair clip fro going on one side. So it is what it is. We are people.
Like that you hear. One of the things that are supposed to be like that you hear.
Hmm.
One of the things that are supposed to be like that you hear, like with your own ears, obviously, is the screaming.
So like that's probably one of the better ones because you can see it really nice and clear.
Yeah, yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Be like that you hear. One of the things that are supposed to be like that you
And it
hear,
almost looks like it's lifting off of like the screen. Like it's obviously,
like with your own ears, obviously, is the screaming because of the fight that took place. But also, she said,
I think another one's about to come up. But what I was saying is more to Wendy's point, it does seem more like a misty thing that happens to be kind of in front of the screen because it just looks like it's not in the screen and not in front of the camera, like where it would be an image. It looks like it's kind of free floating. So the next one is like right here. Yeah.
to say, but also, she said to say mercy, like, you, as you do when, like you're fighting with a sibling. I don't have a sibling. I don't know many siblings that ever said mercy, but then again, I was brought up in the 1980s, 1980s, brought up in the 1980s and 90s. When I'm saying 1900s, those are the
Let me spell
1900s
it
that
out
I'm
for you.
referring to. 1900s that I'm referring to. 1900s.
Oh shoot, and this is the one I forgot. Okay, so that was all of the white misty orbs, if you will. This next one is actually a black image that appears in front of the camera, and it just cuts out the image altogether.
When I'm saying 1900s, those are the 1900s that I'm referring to. 1900s that I'm referring to. 1900s that I'm referring to. 1900s that I'm
Uh, it's so funny. Like I wanted to slow it down even more just to do it again, but I'm like, Wendy's gonna kill me over this. I can't do this anymore.
My laugh is so annoying at that moment, but that is how I laugh. So what can I do? But I 100% see what you're talking about. And like
right.
what is causing that?
What is
What is
that?
causing that? I say, is it possible that like your body is in front of your laptop screen, blocking out some form of light that would light up the room, and that causes it? But you're sitting there the whole time. It
Yeah,
feels like that should be happening a lot more because you're moving around in your chair all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And it doesn't happen again, except that I have corrupted files. So, now I did actually set this up to record me more in the room. I have no idea what happened because like I said, the files are corrupted, and this is really all that I can see of the XLS, just the image from our recording. So at least I have this to share with you, and it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat stuff.
That's
But I
really deep. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I think that the idea is they were all up on that SLS, just
yeah.
poking on it and touching on it.
Yeah, yeah, maybe that's what is happening. And like one of them poked it and thought, woo, and then zooped away. And that's why there's that little bit of white light against the back wall.
Yeah.
Uh,
And they
I
took
don't
your
know.
files with them.
They sure as fuck did. They said, let me see what I can do with those files. Let me just play that last one one more time and then we'll move on.
when I'm saying 1900s, those are the 1900s that I'm referring to. 1900s that I'm referring to. 1900s that I'm referring to. 1900s that I'm referring.
It's just so quick. It's just a black and right back at you. So,
Hmm.
so strange. But yeah, so there's that. So that one, it's not going to be the most interesting thing that I have to share with you. But I can tell you right now, this next video that I'm going to share, it's not a whole lot to see, as what you're going to hear. So I did a lot of talking about all of the audio uh, that I took while I was there. My audio recorder, my Sony digital recorder, is pretty much going to be the star of the show for the next, yeah, like the rest of this episode. But in this video was actually recorded off of the GoPro, and it's it's the whole time it's basically watching me reviewing the audio that I took. So you're going to see me sitting here in this room on this bed, kind of, rocking a little bit and taking my socks off and listening to the audio recorder and trying to make notes. And there are things happening in the room that I didn't know was happening. Okay, well that's my chapstick. Not haunted. Honestly, I think a lot of it happens right after I take off my socks. So, but I didn't put the numbers down for this one. So you're just gonna have to watch me take off my socks. I don't know if you can hear that one really well. It does sound like footsteps to me. It almost sounds like someone's kind of running through the room. I didn't clip anything that wasn't like an actual EVP to play it over and over again, just because there's just so many of these weird noises that happen. I didn't feel the need to because we'll come across something very similar again soon.
What a
But here,
creepy thing, because you're hearing it with your own ears, right? Or did you just hear it on your recorder later? Oh, okay. Because you kind of looked like
yeah.
you were looking around, and so I thought that you were. I mean, and I bet in some way you kind of are responding, but it doesn't sound like full-on footsteps to you. Uh,
Yes.
oh,
So oh,
no, I was just gonna say also
uh,
you should probably blur out your feet in future videos. You don't want anybody making money off of those things.
that's so funny. And they appear a lot in this video, so maybe maybe I should blur them out before.
We should have started a Patreon just for
I,
this foot video.
that's what I should have called it, Chris Foot video. Um,
Oh my
it's
God, we would have probably had the most views of any video ever.
hey, I still have time to change it before this episode airs. Like no one's gonna know, so I can go in there and change. This is the Chris Foot video.
Should
Rack
test,
up the subscribers.
yeah, test out that theory.
Um, so yes, unfortunately, there's a lot of big toes in this in this video. But what you were saying a second ago is were you reacting to it? And I do have the earbuds are in, so I'm listening to the audio, but there are a couple of times when like something happens and I look around. So I must have I say in another video, and I don't know if I have it on what I'm showing tonight, but I talk about how I kept seeing things out of the corners of my eyes. I kept seeing things. So I don't know if I was seeing something and I was reacting to that, or if I actually heard something while I had the earbuds in. The only time I actually say something about one of the noises going on in the room is at the very end of this video.
Okay.
But this running is really weird. Let me examine these toes. I think on the third time is probably the best of hearing it because I think you've tuned your ears already to hearing the droning of the AC and all of that. But yeah, I hear a voice say, "Wait, I'm
Hmm.
gonna do it." And I don't know who they're talking to, what they're talking about. I don't get pushed off the bed or anything cool like that. So maybe it's just talking about some of the popping noises that they're doing in the room. Maybe they're talking about touching my XLS again. I don't know.
I don't know what they're up to, but yeah, it is very faint. If
Mhm.
you are not somebody that listens to EVPs all the time, so you're probably not going to hear it. But I hear
Mhm.
it. I hear
Right.
it clear as can be. Yeah.
Cool. Cool, cool. So there's some more shuffling noises, and then I get another very faint voice. And this one that comes through is actually kind of cool. What I'm listening to on the headset on the audio EVP thing, EVP thing, the EVP machine over there that I've got on the bed. It's just what I'm listening to. So I did a tarot card session, and I was so shocked. I kept pulling the magician, and it was giving me yeses, and then it would change up, and then I would start to get more different complex cards. The magician's one of my favorite cards, and that's why I got all excited. And the only reason why I know, so I just said earlier in this clip, bam, belief, action, manifestation. That's how the magician card works. So then I was able to like listen back on the audio recording, like this voice that comes through, it's giving me, it to me, it feels like it's giving me an answer. I don't know. because I'm obviously not asking them anything at this moment. I'm laying here on the bed listening to the audio. So I went back to the audio to see if it was answering a question that I had earlier asked. So let me see if we can find that EVP. Oh. So when I went back and listened to the audio, I was saying that like maybe the person that haunts this room isn't actually Sally. I'm not 100% sure, and there's really no definite proof that Sally. And I was getting Sasha, through the Estes method. Maybe, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's not Sally. And then I get this very faint, like a woman's breathy voice that comes through saying, no.
Right, right. Yes, I hear it sounds female. It is very faint, like for anybody watching this, it is hard for you to hear
Oh,
if you're
yeah,
not doing it the right way. But yeah, that's interesting. So they can hear what the recorder, I mean, you have it up loud
loud.
because
Yeah, you can
yeah,
hear it. Yeah.
yeah, you can hear the voice in the background. So, yeah, that makes sense. We don't
Right.
know for sure what they're responding to, but that's
Yeah.
really cool if they are answering the question because we never got Sally for sure. We got
That's
all
true.
Samantha, Sasha. I think that was just those two names, but
Hmm. Yes. And if they're not answering that, I just thought it was interesting timing. Like that's why I said I wanted to go back and listen to the recording. What was I listening to at the same time? Are they responding to that, or is it to the voice that I got earlier that was, wait, I'm gonna do it. And now someone's like, no, just no. I don't know. It could go either way because I didn't hear either of those voices at the time. So I didn't have a chance to like react. Like, what do you mean no? What are you talking about? So, but yeah,
yeah,
so I got that. Oh,
and people do say that, like, when you're doing an EVP session and you ask a question, you need to give them like ample time to respond because it might take them longer to respond. So, what if the time just isn't the same for them?
true.
So that no could be, I'm gonna do it, and then beats later, the
Yeah.
other ghost that they're talking to or spirit that they're talking to is like, no, but
Right.
I didn't say it that way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, and you're right. And while I was reviewing this case or whatever you want to call it, this location of my evidence, I noticed that I really wasn't giving them ample time to respond. Like I'd ask a question and I'd wait 2 seconds, and I'd ask another question and I'd wait. Like I was just like boom, boom, but rapid fire. Like I know you're here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Like I expected them to just come right through. So the no could be a question that was on my recorder. It could be a response to the ghost saying, wait, I'm going to do it. Or it could have been when I asked him if I should sleep in this bed that I sleep in. I don't really know, but yeah, I caught that one. I thought that that was kind of cool too. So the next couple of things that I've got are going to be just weird noises that happen throughout this room that I don't notice, or at least I don't think I notice. It was a weird edit. Like, what is that?
That you know what it is. They're creeping closer to you.
They are, yes. Well, we heard them running. Well, I felt like I heard them running earlier. Like they noticed that my head was turned. So they ran up, they're running up. Now that they're close, they're creepily creaking. Like the floor does creak when you walk on it. Like I've noticed that, but I'm not walking. So who the fuck is?
Wild. That's
Right?
wild. And I mean, like you're moving on the bed. And so what if the bed is putting pressure on the floor? But in that case, we should have heard a lot more creaking, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That exact creaking doesn't exactly. It's been like pops and there's a thud coming up, but the creak was really kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it stands out. I don't know what I'm laughing at. Oh, damn it. I talked right over it. That was cool. what that is. It's just an odd thudding noise. It almost sounds kind of hollow. I don't know if that's paranormal or if it is something in the pipes. That's the only time I heard that noise too. So I called that one out.
Yeah, that is a weird sound.
Mhm.
About the like laughing or smiling to yourself, I do that all the time when I'm watching, like if I'm editing this show or reviewing stuff and we say something funny. And I just told my husband the other day, I was like, I feel so fucking dumb when I catch myself. I'm like, wipe that smile off your face. You're
Off
so
your face.
fucking weird.
That's how I felt like this whole I hated putting this out there. Like I should have just taken the but I felt like I needed you to see the room and see how like I'm just sitting here during, I mean, it's not the witching hour, it's maybe 10 o'clock. But like I'm just sitting here and these noises are happening. So I really wanted that visual to go along with more EVPs that I have later on where I'm like asleep and you're hearing these kind of noises continue. I just felt like it kind of goes to validate, even though I hate sharing this because here I am pulling off my socks, picking on my toes, looking goofy. I mean, at least I cut out the part where I was snacking. So like you didn't get to see that part. Wonderful ghost hunting, like at its finest.
No, but this is like for anybody that's just thinking about getting into paranormal investigating or ghost
Hmm.
hunting, this is what it looks like. This
Yeah,
is
this
what
is
it
it.
looks like. You go into a location and there's excitement, dark hallways, all of that, the scares, but then you have to watch that shit or you have to
Yeah,
you have to listen to the audio that you recorded, and this is how it's gonna look. You're just gonna
and
be
this,
sitting there. Yeah.
there you go.
Picking on your feet, eating snacks. You can't even really eat snacks because then it makes it hard to hear the recording. So,
Right.
mhm.
I had even like when I started recording for the tarot, like I turned it off because I still have the cameras rolling and I'm like, please God, don't say anything where I have to share this where I'm sitting here eating. Please just be quiet. And I didn't hear anything. I don't know if that's for lack of trying or if there really wasn't anything there, but
Mm.
yeah. So okay. I thought, okay, so this is where things start to get a little interesting. I'll continue to listen to EVPs and write them down on that little notepad there. At some point, the K2 starts going off. I pay zero attention to it. I am in my own EVP world. See, like it does seem to me like I'm noticing something because I happen to look up like almost every single time there's like a weird popping noise, but
That one was loud.
yeah, and the ones that I get at when I'm sleeping that are loud, I don't know how I slept through them. They get so much louder. So like it had a little I noticed when I was sitting here doing the tarot card version that is not in this clip that it would go off every now and then. And I kept taking my phone and putting it somewhere else on the bed because I'm like, I know how sensitive the K2 is. So I would pick up my phone and move it. And then as soon as I did, like the K2 would stop. There was even a point, I think earlier in this video, but I clipped it out where I pulled the K2 over and I pointed at it when I'm listening to the headset at the GoPro, like, hey GoPro, look at this thing, even though I completely ignore it here in this section of the clip of the video. I wonder if those noises that I heard, the popping and the creaking, if something had kind of made its way over here and, you know, was there for a minute and that's why it was going off. It doesn't go off like this again. It's just this one part where you see it kind of like jumping around.
Yeah, and so if it's you causing it some way, why wasn't it doing it more often? Yeah,
Right.
it's so funny because they're just creeping closer and closer to you, and they're on that bed. They're on that bed with
Yes,
you.
I buy it. I do. It's such a weird thing. And again, you're right. If yeah, the K2s are super sensitive, so why hasn't it been doing this the whole time? I know it's super sensitive. That's why, like earlier, I just kept moving my phone away from it because I'm like, that K2 is going off again. It's got to be because my phone, I got an email or something. But at this point, I think honestly, my phone might be on the other side of me, and I would assume it's a good enough distance, but the phone has been on the bed this entire time, and it only just started going off, like right around the time when that message comes up that says, "Hey, the KT is about to go off." Like I think it starts just a second before that.
Hmm.
See that I just like adding arrows in my videos now. It's my thing.
I love your arrows.
Yeah. They are helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything I said about faint EVPs, like this is probably the faintest of all of them. I even I'm I'm not sure if it says you might dream or you're my dream, which is
Ooh.
it's kind of creepy. But also, if they are on the bed, maybe they were trying to get. I mean, I don't have other like EVPs that are like, "Hey, lady, looking good" or anything like that. So
Mhm.
this one's really, really, really quiet. It might not be these words. I feel like the M and dream are probably like the clearest things that you'll actually pick out of this EVP with all of the AC noise in the background.
It is very faint, but I hear what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, right. Just those very small, like it's a voice, but I don't know what they're saying.
They even sound like they're whispering. Like
Yeah,
it's
they
very
are.
like breathy in a way that
Mhm.
you would whisper. So, I mean, that's just going to make it that much harder too.
Right. And for it to pick up on the GoPro, I feel like right there, and maybe they were whispering because I keep looking over in that direction, and they're like, if I say it too loudly, she'll hear me,
Mm.
maybe. All right, home stretch, guys. I don't even know what that was.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the recorder because I mean, it seems kind of like the recorder's gotten quiet, but I don't know what that chomp 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 is. Oh, actually, I think it's an EVP. Damn it, I missed it. You hear that?
Yeah. Yeah. You'd have to listen to it over and over again to cipher out the words, but yeah.
Yeah.
First guess, just hearing it that one time is something like we can't hear it or something about can't hear. But again, I've just only heard it like twice, so I don't know.
I like that. Like they're trying to hear it too. So maybe it's we can't hear. I'm gonna write that down and try to listen to it. Like I've got more obviously from this location that I haven't finished reviewing. So I could probably and find that, clip it, and put it on one of my later videos.
It's just if it's
Yeah.
coming from the recorder, we've heard the voices coming from the recorder and they don't sound
Yeah.
like that. They're louder actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would investigate that section more.
You can even like you can I mean it's my voice when you hear it on the audio like coming from the audio recorder like you can tell it's my voice too all those times it comes through. I didn't document that. I thought I did. I hope oh, okay, I was gonna say, I hope the words are gonna appear. There was a popping noise right there, but I didn't
Yeah.
write that one down either. Like with that one, I assume that's the audio recorder getting loud at that one point because it sounds like my voice and a popping noise, but
Hmm.
it sounds like me. Man, I failed. I think there's a voice there too. So you can't see all the doors at this moment. You can see the closet that I refer to later on, right to the left of me. That door that's wide open leads into like the bathroom area and some other very wide open area. And then to the right is the door to the hall to leave this room. But what I hear right here, it sounds like a door opening. And honestly, I don't see any doors opening. So maybe this is a residual noise.
Hmm. Yeah, could be.
Yeah. Yeah, dummy. Shit was happening all around you. I'm just like, what the hell is that? Yeah, but okay, so that one was kind of loud. But I just said odd noise because I don't know what it was.
I wonder if the first time you were reviewing this, if you disregarded those other things that sound like they possibly are EVPs, because maybe you did think it was the recorder.
The recorder? Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Um, because I guess it could be. It just doesn't sound as loud as it did at the beginning of the video, but maybe you've turned the volume down, or maybe you're just not as loud on the recording anymore.
Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely hard to tell because you can't see the recorder at that point. I'm leaned over in such a way where I could be turning it up or turning it down.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. It's weird. And then this last, it just to me it sounds like the door was opening again, but I'm looking and there's obviously no door. Oh yeah, so I react to it too. I'm like, oh shit, the GoPro's watching me. How dumb. Here, it's still recording. It is, but it's almost done. All right, so I gotta stop my GoPro because it's about to die. Yeah, and that's it for actual video. So well, it's a weird thing to say. I have three more videos to show you, but they're all audio. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's no moving pictures.
How will you hold my attention? No.
Uh, it
No, I like that though. I mean, I always believe that if the audio came from video, you should play it from the video because it
mhm.
helps like show everybody where you
Yeah.
were and what you were doing at the time. Now, I get like sleeping videos is a bit different because it's a little snooze fest. Trust me, I know how annoying that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. There was noises all around. And
Hmm.
then, yeah, towards the end of the video, you might need to review that again. But it could very
Hmm.
well be that it was from the recorder because, and that's probably maybe what you determined when you were first reviewing it. Because as you're sitting up and you know, the sound's coming
Yeah, I'm
from your
closer.
headphones, you're closer to
Yeah.
it. And then you
Yep.
moved away. So it's a lot. Yeah, that
Yeah.
it could have just been that. But I guess listen to it a few times to see if you can make out the words and if it
Hmm.
makes sense. To
Yeah.
be the recorder or to be something in the room.
Yeah, I definitely will because I mean I didn't lose any. The audio is I have all of the audio still. Thank God. My trusty Sony really held out the show for me this time because when I went to bed, like I think I reviewed everything off of the night vision camera as I was falling asleep on the previous episode, and the GoPro quits. And I do start it back up, and I reviewed, I believe, all of that evidence too on the previous episode. So what I didn't get to was I'd already told you that basically the next day I had set up the camera to film again and the camera stops right after I go into the bathroom. So I do have that little bit of footage, but I haven't had a chance to get back to that to see what the heck happened in that room. And that is because I am a lazy motherfucker. Now, man, I gotta tell you. So the reason why I'm building up here an apology. So the next three videos that I have, I used a image just as a background, just so that there's something there, so I could put all the clips together and you can hear them one after another. But I was so tired this week that while I was putting this stuff together, I was falling asleep putting it
Mm.
together and listening to stuff. So this first one that I'm going to share with you, some of the shit's out of order, and I apologize. It doesn't like there's one clip for sure that was actually when I was sleeping, and I put it on this one, and then later when I'm writing the notes, I'm like, oh, that shouldn't have been there, but it is. So it's whatever. It's a voice, which is cool. You get to hear it sooner than later. That's all I can say. Okay, so also these were a couple of the clips that I had ready to go for the last show, but I didn't get to them due to time. So the very first two EVPs that come through, I actually got in the lobby, like right after I got here. So one of them, I went up to my room, I unloaded, and then I kind of went back downstairs because the lobby was empty. So I thought that that'd be a really good time to kind of walk around. And I got a voice during that time frame. Now, the second time that I went back down to the lobby after I don't know, we had some sort of like a cold front that moved in and we had like sleet and it was really gross. Well, after I went back up to my room and kind of got everything set up, I went back down to the lobby and now there were people there. So the first time there wasn't anyone down there except for like the guy behind the check-in area. And the second time I went down there, man, there were people all over the place, like doing whatever they do at a hotel lobby at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So here, like, what do you guys do? They might have been waiting for someone so they could go somewhere, but it was just weird. When I went back down there expecting it to be pretty empty, and then there's just all these people lounging around. I was like, well, there goes my EVP session down here because I'm not going to do it in front of you weirdos.
Mm.
I'm obviously the weirdo, but anyways. All right, so here's the first one that I got. Go ahead.
That's loud. That's loud.
Yeah, it is loud. And I thought, because I'm wandering around in the lobby, like, was she talking about her room? Like, was it a spirit that's like unhappy with what she got booked, like, or food? It's a loud, clear voice, and it's like not that great. Like, whatever it is that they're talking about, pretty obvious, like that they didn't like it. I don't remember if the second one is as loud or not. No, I think it's kind of garbled again, kind of like a raspy voice. That's actually me walking. It goes really well with the graphic here of the two reels spinning, but that's just my jeans and my feet moving.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Isn't that funny? But I'm moving through again, just the lobby area. That's me whispering. So I feel like they're talking about the room that they I don't, or maybe I find it small isn't actually what they're saying. Maybe that's just what I'm hearing from the words that came through.
I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me, and I feel like it's just as loud as the first
As the
one.
other one. Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So it's probably still like just residual sounds of an operating hotel, I guess.
Yeah. So I felt like the voices were similar too. And like I said, the first time I went down, no one was there. The second time there were other people, but it sounds almost like it could be the same voice. So even though I was ready to be like, well, it could be contamination, I feel like it's an actual EVP. Okay, this next one is when I'm recording back in the room. And I think I had told you that I had listened to, I had listened to some of the audio that I'd recorded and I was hearing things, but I wasn't really able to make it out. So like voices were coming through. So in this one, I'm asking the spirits in the room, which bed should I sleep in? A voice comes through. It doesn't seem like it answers my question, but that's how this part plays out.
I honestly don't want to be by the one by the door now.
Oh,
That
and I
dude just
forgot.
busted in earlier. Do you have good memories of this room?
I forgot about that. So I told Wendy, but you guys didn't get to hear about it, I don't think. Right after I'd gotten the room, I mean, I was in there maybe 15 minutes, maybe. I had just opened up my suitcase and I started doing the walk around video. Like I was doing I'm in this hotel room, like I put it on TikTok and social media, and someone just enters into the room. Like he busts in, like he doesn't bust in, he doesn't like bust down the door. He's like a manager or something. I think he was just coming to inspect the room and make sure that it was clean or whatever. But I'm standing right there, and the guy comes in, and there's a bed obviously right next to that door. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to sleep in that bed because that's the one right next to the door that obviously people just kind of walk in this room to. So, anyways, all of that, and then I get this voice. To me, it sounds like not doing our duty.
The not doing is very clear. When you get to
Yeah,
like our duty, it's like I guess it's just lower, so it's a
yeah,
little harder to make out. And it becomes like drawn out. So I get what you're saying. Duty. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that was weird. That way I just said that.
I should have spelled it out like that too.
But that's so the wording is so weird. Like
It,
what are they talking about? What do they mean? Like
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if not doing our duty is the right word. Maybe it was a partial of a different word, or if maybe they felt like they weren't scaring people enough to keep them out of this room. Because here's some other idiot waving around a recorder asking us questions. And
yeah,
now we
that
have to
that's
answer.
that's the first thing that came to my mind is that
Mhm.
like they feel like they have a duty to like make sure people are too scared to stay in this room or at this hotel or something. But it also could be a residual sound. Like I do think that you have
Mhm.
gotten intelligent responses or like the spirits were watching you.
Yeah.
But it was once an active warehouse, so maybe
Mhm.
it has something to do with that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Like maybe their manager came and busted them up from talking or chit-chatting or something, and that was a residual comment, like, oh, we got in trouble for not doing our duty or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could totally be it. I actually came up with a idea based off of some of the EVPs that I get later on. That I felt like they were in the bathroom, and obviously then I had that experience where I really felt like they were in the bathroom. But when I first got there, I kept hearing things in the bathroom, like water and weird noises. I wonder, and then all night long there's shit that goes on, like basically sounds like a doors, and I get an EVP that kind of connects to what I'm saying, but I assume when they made this a hotel they had to section it off into rooms, even though part of the story is that this was Sally's room. But it was a warehouse, just like Wendy said. It was I don't know, Salem Jeans Company. So the whole top floor was supposed to have been like a livable area. And then they would have like the floors underneath for where they would do the work. But I feel like that wall that separates me from the bathroom was probably not there, that they built that so they could put the bathroom in the room. And that's why there's also that big open space on the other side because it was just there and they really couldn't close it off. So I think maybe some of the spirits here are so active still because it's confusing.
Mhm.
The setup, the layout just doesn't work like how it used to. So
Yeah,
that
and
could be why they're,
we don't even know
yeah,
that they're seeing it that way. Like
right.
those walls might not be there, that tub might not be there in their view.
Mhm.
They might still just be seeing their open dormitory like space. And
Yeah.
I'm certain because the way that I think you described it to me is that they would live there, but it
Hmm.
you think of it like I don't even know, just like a bed after a bed after bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
That's how
and
yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure like the bathrooms in the hallway or something. Like I'm sure they
Right.
had a bathroom, but it was probably like a group bathroom situation in
Yeah.
another space from where they slept. That's
Totally.
that's how I would envision it. I don't know, but yeah, I totally think that that wall for a ensuite bathroom wasn't there before, and so it may not be how they're seeing the space at all.
Right. I really feel like that's how this is working out. Like just some of the noises and things that I get later on, like I feel like it's just a confusing setup to them now. So this next EVP that I got is the one that's totally out of order. This one was caught actually while I was sleeping. So it's super faint. And everything else in the room is quiet except for the AC that's droning on and on. And I can't make out if it's female or male. I just hear kind of like the breath, like that's like they're, I don't know, this could be residual when we were doing the Estes method. And I kept getting stop, stop, stop. And you had said, well, maybe that's residual from, the possible fight that had ended, Sally's life. And maybe help is another one of those residuals coming through, but it's so faint. Like it's very like again, crank it up and you still probably won't even hear it. It's very quiet.
I can hear it. I think
Oh,
that,
good.
if the audio recorders didn't just like enhance or I
Yeah.
don't know I don't know the right word for it, but that air condition is, I'm sure, not
Oh,
that loud to you actually,
yeah.
but it's enhanced on the audio. So it's drowning
Yeah.
it out a bit, but I could totally hear it. I maybe didn't hear it the first time, but then my
Right.
ears were ready the next two times.
Yeah. I definitely feel like you can hear EVPs a lot better when you're tuned into like you've listened to that droning noise over and over, then you can immediately pick out when something new comes out, like this voice help. It sounded so loud and clear to me because that's all I was listening to, that droning AC noise over and over again. But I just went from an EVP that was pretty loud and clear because I was talking and you don't really hear the AC necessarily behind me to then this one where it's super quiet. So when I get to the recording from when I was sleeping, it's all going to be very similar to that. But we'll be listening to, I guess, that noise, I think enough that you'll be able to pick out the couple of EVPs that I hear in that recording. All right, so the next one, I gotta pause this one. So I was actually asking again the spirits in the room at this point, if this was Sally's room, that's what I had heard. So I got this voice around that time frame.
Sally, you are who I want to interact with tonight. I hear this might have been your room.
And it could be, yeah, you're a fool or yeah, you're fooled, but I hear the yeah, you're full, those words at least enough.
Yeah, I feel like it's very clear. Like, again, I'm used to hearing faint EVPs and stuff, so I can make
Right.
it out. And that is just so funny because I think they're responding to you.
I think
So,
so. Yeah.
yeah, what are they? They're just admitting it's just a tale that people
Yeah.
tell. Yeah. There's no
That
Sally's room
there's no
necessarily.
Sally's room. Exactly. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that they're like, yeah, no, you got fooled. This was one of the earlier EVPs that I was telling you that I had replayed it and I could hear something, but I wasn't able to make it out. That was another one of the earlier EVPs. So they were ready to talk like as soon as you got there. Well, maybe talk shit to you or, tell you should get on out of here. One or the other. But yeah, that's what I think is going on. They're basically letting me know that I bought into the story and hook, line, and sinker. I got fooled. All right, so the next one is very short and fast.
They're just like opening wider and wider and wider. Do you know how to give me?
Okay, and this is during the dowsing rod session, and it's so, so, so fast that it's going to be hard to hear it. But I said during the dowsing rod session, I'm asking a question, but I hear a yes in the room, and I tell you, I heard a yes. You said, did you hear like a pop because my cat just made a noise? I'm like, no, I heard a yes. And I think I caught the yes, but again, it's just very faint here and fast.
Wider. Do you know how to give me a yes or a no? Do you know how to use these to answer my questions? They're just. Did you hear that?
There was a noise that was a pop that I think might be my cat.
I swear to God, I just heard an actual yes in the room.
Oh, okay, that's different then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. That's the end of my word because it comes like right when I end my word. So then I hear a yeah, like right there. And it's just faint. It's just hard to really hear it.
You're
I think you
not.
can hear it better that time. Were you able to hear it?
Yes, I can hear it. So I love that. I love that because they're directly responding to what you just asked them.
Yes, and I heard it in the room. What pisses me off is that it's so quiet. I heard that one with my own ears as if it was like someone like, yes, like just me talking to you. And the recording on this part, the audio sucks. Like I don't know where the device was sitting because like in the very beginning of that, I'm loud, but I'm also breaking up. Like my voice doesn't come through as clearly as it does on when I'm holding it. So I don't know if I had the audio next to the XLS camera when I was holding the dowsing rods, when we were doing that on the video. But I hear the yeah, it does come through, but the audio quality itself for this span is odd to me because it almost sounds like it's a cassette, like what I'm showing you, instead of it being a digital audio recording.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a situation where I don't know, because you're so loud on the recording though.
I know.
But
Yeah.
in the last week's episode when we're talking about Old South Pittsburgh and you
Mm.
had that voice right in your ear, but
Yeah.
we never caught it on any audio or anything. And
Yeah.
so maybe that was the same kind of situation, is that it was loud enough and they were close enough to you
To you. Yeah.
actually like in your ear to answer your question, but the recorder's on the table or something. So it's gonna
That makes a lot
pick
of
it up
sense. And
like
hell yeah,
lower.
they were in between me and the XLS the whole time, watching over my shoulder. What is she doing now? So yeah, I
Yeah.
bet you're right.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I heard it loud and clear. I was really excited to have been able to hear it on the audio, even though the audio quality is so weird at that time. But I heard that one with my own ears, so I know this place is fucking just full of spirits. They're just trying to keep away from your recording devices. Oh, there's only one more on this recording, and this is around the time Wendy, our call ended, and I'm just doing my own like EVPs, tarot, and trying to chase them around the room as much as I can. But I stopped because I'm like, I'm going to make myself a drink and get something to eat really quickly. So I think at this time you'll probably hear me like pouring a drink, but I get I get a voice at the same time because I still have the audio going.
Interested in reliving it. Okay. I respect that.
So what I was saying to them is I have a feeling the reason why you're not being as communicative, as I'd want you to be, is because you just don't want to relive, the past, what happened. And then I get this voice that comes through, and it does sound like they're responding to me again.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great response.
Yeah.
Like to show that you're on point with your thought process there. And you see like in the beginning they said that you're a fool basically, that Sally
Yes.
doesn't, they just don't want to talk about it.
Right, right, exactly. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to relive it. And I mean, like on one of the other EVPs that I got from a past show, like there was that voice that came through that there are some things that we're not so proud of. So they definitely don't want to relive their past. They do not want to talk about Sally. I don't know yet if she is a real human, if she was a real person that was really murdered at this location or not, or if I was just fooled because I bought into the story and here I am. And now there just happens to be all these other ghosts for some unexplained reason.
Yeah, but we're not fooled. Joke's on them. We
Yeah,
go anywhere that they
that's
say
right.
it's haunted, and we don't come there just looking for Sally. So
That's true.
they're the fools, falling for the
Yeah,
tricks. They could have stayed quiet and not said anything at all, but whatever.
that's true. And now that's right. Because now I just want to go back again and again because like I can go into the damn lobby and get voices. I mean, well, I say that, but after you hear like what happens at night, I don't know how people that aren't into the paranormal sleep here soundly. Like it's just fucking rat. I'm gonna finish this one. Interested in reliving it. Okay, I respect that. That's it, girl. All right, that's all that I had for this video. All right, so the next set of EVPs that I've got for you, you'll be familiar with like the sound because you saw videos before on a previous episode. If you haven't, just go to our YouTube page and just go through the playlist. There's a lot right now. I think we've racked up. This is like our 24th episode.
Hmm.
Yes, I
I think
think.
this is our 25th.
25th. You're right. This is the 25th.
Yeah,
You're
we
right.
could
This is
rent a
25th.
car.
Yay! Yay! 20th episode. Yeah, so I feel like it might have been at least 5 or 6 episodes ago. Maybe five, maybe four, somewhere around there. You will have heard some of this before. And I think that it's cool because now we're listening to the audio from when I was laying in bed and I was like getting ready to go to sleep. So I'm watching some videos on TikTok. There were some voices that I caught on the night vision camera, and some of them came through pretty clear, and some of them weren't. Like I couldn't tell if it was a laugh or it was an audible, but now I'm able to hear some voices this time. So we're kind of reliving a little moment that we had in a couple episodes ago, but now I have more evidence to go along with it. So let me share that. Bring me a dream, make him the cutest that I've ever seen. Give him true love it. The next one. The next one is no. Where the fuck is that? So I'll
That
let that.
that's
Oh
so
yeah,
loud. That's so loud.
it is. And what's funny is I think on the original video where I had clipped it, I thought it was a laugh. Like I could hear something, but couldn't quite make it out. But here he is. He's like on top of that digital recorder, which is on my nightstand now. It is right next to me. He's like calm is the word that I heard, which Mr. Sandman was kind of calming. The next song that I played wasn't, but maybe he's just responding to that, or he's responding to the fact that I'm laying down and trying to go, get ready for bed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's just a piece of a sentence, so we wouldn't
Yeah.
know more of what they're trying
Right.
to tell us.
Exactly. Yeah. But I like that because you don't hear it on the other equipment. But I wonder then too, on the other equipment, I got that deep exhale breath. Is that Mr. Calm?
Hmm.
Sounds like it to me. Okay, so this next one actually caught pretty like near after this one. Like it, I think it happened a minute after I caught this first word. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can hear it on the replay so much better than the first time. I don't, I guess it's just maybe my ears adjusting. But it's a crispy voice again, like follow me.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah,
It's just weird and random.
weird and random. Yeah, I don't know who he needs them to follow, but yeah, that one just came out of the blue. So then as I'm laying there, still watching videos, I catch some noises here. I don't know. I wasn't able to like pick out an EVP in this next set, but let's listen to it.
Even though I am staying on a Sunday and I got a really good deal on this one. And I think like there's nobody here, which makes that even like more golden. Like I super lucked out. But yeah, so there is a tragedy, as most hotel hauntings would have. But yeah, so there is. But yeah, so there is.
It almost sounds like there's a voice that's trying to come through like the video that I'm watching. But it's not me. This is the video that I'm watching as the one that I prepared for TikTok, where I was like so excited. Like I got this super awesome deal on this hotel, this haunted hotel, blah, blah, blah. And I'm watching it because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to clip the old boy that busts down the door. But that noise that is caught there, I don't know what that is. It's not coming from the video itself. It's almost like something else was in the room. I don't know if it's like a residual cough or or what, but it's a weird kind of a, I don't know,
Yeah, I would think that it's an EVP, like that they're saying something. It's
saying
just
something.
hard to make out with other things going on.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. I could see that because it's a weird noise, so it does sound like it could be vocal cords. Like that other one was very raspy, so it could be the same follow me voice. I just couldn't make it out.
Hmm.
All right, this next one is really cute. I don't remember how loud it is.
Um,
But Spirits of Brookstown. Now you remember I had that on one of the other pieces of equipment before, so that's that. I was happy to have caught it again on the audio. I think I got it on the night vision camera before it shut off. Wakey wakey.
That's so like so it raises the question, are they in a different time or
Yeah.
is it a residual noise? Or are they night owls? You know, like how do they mean it? Like,
Oh,
yeah.
they fucking night owls. That's exactly what that is based off of all the noises that I like. It's just nonstop. Like at some point when I made the video whatever for when I'm sleeping of all of the EVPs, I'm just like at some point I'm just gonna play like a handful of them and be like, you get the idea. It's just nonstop. Because there's just so much going on. So I feel yes that they are night owls. They see me laying down and going to sleep, or some of them. There might be someone that is a little bit of a mischievous spirit here, and they're just like, oh, wakey, wakey. You're not gonna sleep well if you're trying to sleep. But yeah, that was cute. And this last one from this video really ties into the questions that I've been asking all night long. They just chimed in as I'm falling asleep. I was starting to wonder if I replayed it because I'm like, dang, it takes so long to get there. But yeah, it sounds male. It sounds like a male voice that I've heard a couple of times before. And they're like, Sally, who?
Yeah, it does. I don't know for sure, but I'm just going to bring this up because people are going to see it in my video. I felt like I almost heard it again. The words just weren't there. So like maybe I don't know. Maybe it plays, maybe we see repeat again here in a second, and then that would be your three times. But you might have just missed titling one of them. But
Yeah.
the reason I'm pointing this out is to say that makes me feel better because I'm pretty sure I just recently, like, it might be one I'm going to share with you next week that I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And in one section, people are going to see at the bottom title, title, title. And it's because I put in a text box, but I forgot to type in that
Oh, take
text
it.
box. So I'm just like, I think I saw it like as I don't know how I saw it, but it was like too late. The video was like already done in processing, and I was just
Yeah.
like, I don't care.
Eh,
I don't care. I don't care, I guess. It's just
that's
one out of a million, so I'll just leave it alone. So,
That's fine, but I mean, you saw the goof up I made on the last, my last, which was the battleship. I had the words kind of floating off the screen, so it's like,
I don't think that's your fault. Like
I don't, how did that happen?
these editing programs just act up sometimes. Like I actually probably really did type in that text box, but if you don't click
Oh,
off the right way,
oh
it'll
yeah.
just delete what you just did. You know,
It's just like,
it doesn't save it.
oh, it's like, oh, you wanted that? We'll see about that.
Yeah.
I actually wrote down that I heard for this one, Sally who's that? So when you
Oh,
said you heard it twice, I bet you heard because I originally thought that I heard more, but when I went to clip it, I was like, what was I smoking? I only hear this one. But again, I was pretty tired this week trying to put all these together, and like like I said, like I put that one clip in the wrong spot, but I think you're picking up on what I had originally heard.
okay, okay. That is, yeah, maybe that's it.
Let me play that again. I didn't let it go all the way. I don't know why I left so much room here. I think just so that you can tune in, like your ears get kind of with the the noises in the room and all of that. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
That's
You hear it?
exactly it's exactly what you just said. I was hearing the same voice, though it is different words. It's not
Yeah.
Sally Who because the Sally Who is very obvious, but it's like I feel like you can still hear that voice afterwards just saying a little bit. So you
Yeah.
actually didn't mess up like I did.
Okay.
So I'll just go back to feeling bad about mine.
I mean, I'm sure. Well, I still have two more tapes to go, so don't
We'll
hold on.
see.
There's still plenty for me to screw up. All right, let me go to the next one. So I made these in separate tape like formats or whatever. Because honestly, like I said, I was just really tired. I wanted to make sure that I had the clips ready to go. But also I thought, hey, well, it'll be cute because then I can shift gears and show a different cassette. So so these are all very faint. These are like probably of everything that I've shared with you, the hardest to hear, but I got some real good ones off of this one. Again, I'm in between falling asleep and asleep. I think at this point I'm asleep mostly. I think I was falling asleep at the end of the last one. Now I'm asleep. Breathy and fast. There's a lot of words here, but I think the last replay is the best one. I get are you some kind of little girl? And then let go of it. I don't know if it's two different voices saying two different things, and if they're talking about me or if they're talking about somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's clear and it's a lot going on.
It is.
Hmm.
Yeah, let go of it. Yeah, I feel like the let go of it is a higher pitch. And at that point, like it almost sounds like someone's kind of frustrated. Let go of it, like
Hmm.
they're kind
Hmm.
of frustrated.
Yeah.
But you're right.
I don't think they're talking to you at all unless you sleep with a stuffed animal that I don't know about. But
I do not. No.
I
It
think
would
this
be good if
is
I had Boo Bear,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I
Oh my God, we've never thought about that. That's so funny. Um, I think you're picking up on some fights,
yeah.
like either I
Oh,
guess it could be intelligent spirits doing that, but
yeah.
I would maybe lean towards residual and that fight that they are trying to pretend doesn't exist or
Doesn't
didn't
exist.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Sally, who's that? I mean, maybe her name wasn't Sally, maybe it was Sasha or Samantha because we got those on the Estes method. But you're right. This does sound like it's a fight. Someone's talking shit, or are you some kind of little girl and somebody else is like, let go of it. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if it's
Like
like,
they're fighting over something or let go of that feeling, conversation, whatever, Yeah.
right, exactly. Yeah. Ooh, that might actually be one of the most like relative like EVPs to like the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, this is just weird. Yeah. That's what I hear. They're somehow in my room.
I hear that.
Yeah, right. And like I felt like like they were referring to me, like they're somehow in my room. Or again, it could be a residual. It was a nighttime EVP, so I'm not asking them to tell me anything. They just blurted it out
Yeah. So you're only one person. So why would they really be saying there?
there. Yeah.
Um, but you brought this up, I want to say last week. Like, what if there's intelligent spirits that are in the room and they're
Oh yeah, right.
seeing other spirits that they don't know
Yeah.
and plus you and they're just like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Who are all these people?
Man, that's got to be so fucking weird and annoying at the same time to be trapped in that other plane of existence and not be able to do anything about residual ghosts doing their thing and actual people and you just being like, what? They're
It's
all
got
in my
to be
room.
it's got to be pretty scary,
Yeah.
like what if Sally is a real person
Hmm.
and but you get this one male that's like, Sally who? I don't know a Sally. I don't even see a Sally. But
Yeah,
then
right.
here's Sally over here,
Yeah. Like, excuse
living,
me.
yeah. Well, I mean, maybe
Reliving
she
it. Yeah.
doesn't even see that guy. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Uh, it's just, when are they going to
Oh,
develop something where we can see and experience this all better? Like,
no
do you
kidding.
remember that movie that was like 13 Ghosts where they developed that
Yes.
house and they like trapped the ghosts?
Ghosts. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, those were terrifying
They were
ghosts, but still,
terrifying.
a
Yes.
really good idea.
It's horrifying, actually. Don't do that.
Oh, I love that. What's the guy's name that's in that? He just appeared on the Daredevil. Are you
Yeah.
watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. I think I'm a little behind, but
Oh,
we have watched like two episodes and yeah, he's on there. I know who you're
yeah.
talking about, but I don't know his name.
I'm way behind because an episode came out this week, and I'm like, no, I have to do my ghost work, and like I do my ghost work, and then I'm fast asleep on the couch. I'm not doing either. But like as soon as his name showed up, Matthew Lillard, as soon as his
Mhm.
name showed up in the credits, and I'm like, oh well, we know who the villain is. He doesn't come on, and he's just like the good guy.
No, he's up to no good for
He's
sure.
up to no good. Yeah. So, oh, that was a funny sidebar, but yeah, no, absolutely could be why we have this story about Sally, because maybe other paranormal investigators have gone here and they've picked up on this fight, like what I just had. Maybe they asked some questions, maybe they got a Sally, maybe they found out that somebody was pushed down an es elevator. Just from other random EVPs, but maybe they were all like residual things that came together. That's why there's no proof, there's nothing. It's just all from what they're picking up from ghost hunting. And that's all the stuff that's residual, and that's why we don't have the full story. Meanwhile, we've got other guy in the corner like Sally who's that? And they're all in my room. Who is it that you're looking for? Just take your pick. They're all here. It could be. It could. There's a lot that happened here. It seems like, there are also stories, not from this hotel that I know of, but of people that go to hotels to just, end their lives. So there could be other people's stories here that are coming through on top of whatever the Sally, Sasha, Samantha, maybe those are all just names of other spirits in this hotel, along with maybe people that worked there before. Maybe there were accidental deaths from the factory. Maybe there were hotel workers that just really loved working there that are, coming back and doing their jobs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it has a long history, so
Yeah,
it has plenty of time to collect so many memories.
so many memories. Yeah. And until we get that 13 ghosts set up, we'll never get to see them, I don't think.
I think I'm okay
Um,
with that.
I know,
I know I'm the
so
one
maybe a
that
little,
brought it up, but now that I think about it, I'm having flashbacks. I'm like, no, thank you.
the thing with the cage over the head, like what was that? You remember that one? Oh, the
Yeah.
jackal. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. Yeah, I think there might be something else in there. That's why I left it long, but I can't make it out. There's another voice possibly, but
Hmm.
and then this I am, which obviously well, it sounds female to me, but as somebody that is responding to something else happening. That's not me asking any questions. Yeah, so this one, I feel like there's more voices right before that. Tell me where you are. That's just the only part that I could really clearly make out, even though it's
Hmm.
not that clear.
It's so hard because as you listen to these like long moments of silence, but not silence, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you're not talking, you're not moving around making noise. And so it's just the sound of the air condition the whole time,
right.
that white noise kind of
Hmm.
going on. And then you're like, you hear something, and you're like, that is clearly a voice to me
Hmm.
talking. Well, after that, your ears are just so like waiting for the next one
Yeah.
that I get so concerned that I'm going to create it in my head, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a really good point. And also because, like you said, this is very white noise like, and I do sleep with a white noise generator. That's another reason why I was falling asleep so easily listening to this. Um, but I would like I'd hear the droning of the AC, and then I would hear like just something shift, and I'm like, am I imagining a voice now, or was it really a voice? And then I'd have to go back and listen to it over and over and over again. Like, okay, I can't make out a verbal like that sounds like a voice tone, but that doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily mean there's not an EVP because we've got EVPs that sound like mechanical.
Yeah.
So then I have to go back and listen to it again. Okay, am I hearing a word? No. Then I can't. I'm moving on because I got so much from this location anyways. I'm just like, all right, it is, it isn't. There might be something here, but I can't quite make it out.
Yeah.
Um,
This same
and
thing happens to me like all the time. So,
yeah, there's especially when like this, there's that white noise going on and there's no other voices breaking it up. So all you have to hear is just that noise and then maybe something else that comes through. You hear the popping and the room noises are starting to kind of well, they're starting up again. Like they seem to be kind of quiet this whole time. I mean they were throughout but very faint, but now they're starting up again as I'm actually going to sleep. Like they're okay, she's not paying attention now, you know? Weird. Okay, I didn't realize that I left it so long. I know that there were pops and noises there, but yeah, what I'm hearing is tell me where you are. Like the R part is really kind of stretched out. Like they're really calling for somebody.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Creepy.
It is creepy. Yeah, so speaking of creepy, this last one originally I was going to call nightmare fuel because I'm sound asleep and there's a lot of noises that are happening around me. Some of them are loud, some of them are very faint. There are some EVPs here and I don't know how much of it you really want to hear because it goes from tapping, popping to banging to footsteps then quiet footsteps like they're tiptoeing around again. So I'll play. I do have the EVPs on here time stamped, so I can play those. But I think I'm going to play at least the first set of noises that come through. I said that this is pretty much after 11:30. And I only repeat when it's an EVP too, so you don't have to listen to these noises more than once. But yeah, that first one, again, I'm sound asleep. So what the hell is making that sounding like a door opening up noise?
I hate that.
I right. That's why like originally I was like, this is nightmare fuel. Like I was laying there in bed. What the hell is happening? I don't know how clearly that is coming through, but it sounds like when someone's like walking, like it like their clothes are kind of rubbing together.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's disturbing because it really feels like a human element, like there was somebody in the room. Like that, it is so disturbing. EVP is now coming.
You would think that if, like, how we were talking earlier about how that bathroom wasn't really a bathroom when it was a warehouse and everything, so that
Yeah.
maybe the spirits don't see it that way and
Mhm.
they're just floating through the walls or whatever. Would they make noise if they like ran into the wall or something and they're like, fuck, what is in my way? Like they can't even see it, but they're like banging into it. I'm just curious about that because the in the wall comment kind of goes along with that, that they're kind of like, what is happening? Where is this? Why is this wall here? You know, and then they're making so much noise. I can't believe you didn't wake up from that one loud bang. But I can believe it at the same time because I could sleep through that. But it's
I
we've stayed at haunted hotels before and we've said like, oh, if something happens, we'll wake up. Nope, guess not.
right. No, guess not exactly. Well, and some of them get really loud. Now, there were times that I'd wake up and I'd open up my eyes and I'd see that the room was still just the room and I would just go back to sleep. And I know at one point that when I had opened up my eyes, like, and this must have been, I don't know, the really, really late, maybe early into the morning. I don't remember if I dreamt this or if this actually happened because I was just in and out of that dream state at that moment. I remember opening my eyes and closing my eyes, but then I remember seeing shadows moving all around, in the room. But then I went right to sleep like it was nothing. So did I dream that? Was that just my active imagination because maybe I had been hearing these noises, but I was sleeping kind of enough that I wasn't like waking up. And then as I'm going to sleep, my mind just kind of, connects the dots like, okay, this is what's going on. Nighty night. Um, I don't know. I remember having that vision and be it one that happened while I was awake or, like kind of just out of sleep, or if it was a dream. I don't really know. But I know that eventually I do get up, not in this recording. It's like, I mean, maybe 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5, I get up and I go to the bathroom and I come back and like, I mean, the room just seems to be the same, eerie, but everything's in place.
Mhm.
There's no doors that are just ajar. There's, no clothes all over the bed or all over the floor. Like nothing seems out of place. So these noises are so weird. They're so weird. These noises to me go in line with like when people have haunted houses and they come downstairs and all the cabinet doors are opened up. I would
Yeah.
expect with all of these noises, all the drawers and all the doors, just wide open.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you said the floors were noisy, so it could
They
just be
are.
a lot of creaking around on the floor. And I
Yeah.
guess it could be residual sounds of like, people working in a
Hmm.
workspace or being in the hotel prior
Hmm.
to, you
Yeah,
being there.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, it could just be, yeah, like you said, just residual noises. It's just so fucking creepy to record them all night long while you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because like I'm saying, like it does to me sounds they're so human like that I listen to these and I'm like, there was someone in that fucking room with me. There's no way. But I mean, I woke up, I stayed there the whole night, nothing was missing. If there was an actual person in that room, what a fucking weirdo. Okay. Like just wandering around the room all night long. And if it was one person, how come all the voices are different?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's not the case.
Okay, so door opening. We just did that EVP. There's another one coming up. It's weird too. Okay. Okay, so at first when I heard that creak noise, I thought it was a bark, and I'm like, Wendy was right. It was dogs running around my bed all night long. It was dogs. Um, but after I listened to it again, I'm like, oh, actually it's again, it sounds like a floor creak. It just depends on where you step on the floor. Um, and then this voice comes through that says, this light is getting in the way. I left the light on, and I wonder if they're talking they can't get close to me because I left the light on, or they can't show themselves. But, like, one of the stories is that you'll wake up from your sleep and there is a like creepy woman staring at you, like, and she looks, I mean, creepy. And like I had joked about that before because like if you wake up from a dead sleep and you see anybody in your room, it would be creepy. No, I mean frightening. And I said I'm sure it's just as frightening to her if she's just used to walking around that room to stumble upon, someone in her bed. But I got this voice, and to me that I hear it say this light is getting in the way. So I took it as, my light next to the bed, like that is what is getting in their way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's the only thing I think it could be. Is it like they're aware that it's drowning them out, kind of? Like that it
yeah,
needs to be dark for you to see
right.
them? Yeah, that is
Yeah, right.
strange.
Strange. Yeah, that is very and it's I don't have like the people that saw that face of the woman in their room. And I mean, I don't know who they are, so I can't ask them. Did you have the lights off? Did you only have the light in the bathroom on? Like how'd you see this woman? What light was there for you? Did you bring your own light? Like there's a light right next to the bed. I'm like, this makes me feel safe. I'll leave it on. That's all I needed.
Hmm.
But yeah, this light is getting in the way. It's kind of faint, but then I get all those creaks and pops around it too. So like they're moving around at the same time. This light is bothering them. So I don't know. Ghosts don't like light in this hotel, I guess. Okay, we got to talk about that one. So can you hear the footsteps pretty good?
Yeah.
To me, they sound like boots on wood. I think that that's residual. It's not like the creaking noises I've been hearing in this room, or even the clothes shuffling noise. It sounds like click, 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 click. So that to me sounds residual. Someone just walking through like a warehouse. But then I get move the clothes over, and I'm like, are they talking about my fucking clothes in the closet? Because walk through that wall. Like that one spirit says in the walls, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
then this one's like, move the clothes over. Like
Oh, I don't know. There's so many questions.
I
Like,
know.
well, first off, I was wondering if you just had clothes on the bed or something. Like,
Yeah.
and that's creepy because then that means they're just trying to get in the
You get
bed
it in
with
the
you.
bed.
But
Ooh,
now to think that they're in the closet,
in the
like
closet.
peeking behind your clothes, it's just
Right?
like, could they get any weirder?
So weird, but it makes sense because this whole time I'm like, it sounds like a closet door opening. It sounds like a door opening. Like they are trying to get through that section. They're trying to get through
Hmm.
that wall. The lady said they're in the walls. This guy's like, move the clothes over. I don't know what the other lady's talking about with the light being on. I guess because she just wants to freak me out. But I feel like, and then I hear those boot steps on like what it sounds like wood floor, and so clear that it's almost like it's walking like right through that area. So it just to me, I feel like laying down here in this bed at night, I have kind of I'm I'm somewhat witnessing what it was like in the past. And the past is here now that it's present, saying, move the clothes over. Like we're trapped. I need to walk through this space. It is, you're right. It's just so much shit happening all at once. And it just continues. It's all night long.
You know how they say that spirits hate when you like do renovation or you change
Yes.
things up? Like
Yeah.
that is the sense that I'm getting.
Yeah.
Like they just are used to seeing the room the way it was when they were there. And
Yeah.
now everything is in their way and everything is a problem.
Yes.
And it's not right.
Yes. 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 I agree. But it's so funny because like this hotel has been renovated for some time. They're still just as pissed off as when it was originally renovated. They're still having just as many problems with it.
Wild.
It is wild. It is wild. So I have a possible EVP coming up, but really everything else I have is noises. Let me see. There's one coming up that's really loud. I'll just kind of skip to that because the footsteps in between there are kind of faint. They're there, but I don't know if it's worth playing out. Can't hear. Oh, what the fuck? What was that? And I didn't wake up because of that.
Like, do you take sleeping medication? How are you sleeping through that?
That's it's got to be just like residual noises. Like when I was awake and I was in the room, I didn't hear that many. There were pops and creaks and stuff like when we were recording, but they were kind of quiet about it. They weren't so in your face about it like they are right now. So I don't know if it's just because the room is pretty much quiet and the audio is, like you said, it's just amplified because there's no other voices to pick up. Now it's just picking up all the sounds so loudly.
That's a
Or,
thought. Yeah, that's
yeah,
possible.
because like I feel like if I had heard that, I would have jumped out of bed. It sounds like someone's breaking in. Or they're pouring ice out all in the sink. Like it's a loud clanging noise, you know?
Yeah. Hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. I can continue to play this out. I've only got over a minute left. But it's just going to be more creaking. Do you want to hear the rest of this?
Sure.
All right. It's just more nightmare fuel. Like what? Look, I don't need the haunted house tape. I've got it right here. I've got everything that I need.
Yeah.
But you know what? I lied too because I did hear noises. I heard noises all night long. I guess they just weren't enough to where I felt like it was gonna, chase me out of this room. But
Hmm.
I remember waking up several times because I heard something, but I would open my eyes and I didn't see anything. So I'm like, okay, it's a haunted room. Go back to
Man,
sleep.
right? You do that when you're tired enough too. So
Yeah,
because I've woken up hearing, hey or mom
yeah,
or something
that's
like
right.
that. And
Yeah.
I look around or hearing a knock, like a loud knock where it sounds like it's on my headboard or something. And I'll wake up and I'll look around and it
Right.
won't happen again. And I'll be like, I'm going back to sleep.
Right, 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 right. So, I mean, you open your eyes, you don't see anything, so all is good. It must have just been my dreams, or I recognize that I'm in a haunted room, so the sounds of something being dropped in my room, I just let that roll off my back, and I went right back to sleep.
Yeah, it's to be expected, right?
Right, right, exactly. It's just par for the course. So that was the last one on here. Yeah. Now, I know I have more to share at some point in time. I just I had to cut it down just so that we could have enough for the show. But yeah, I mean, like it's nonstop. It's definitely nonstop. Once you get there, things are happening. Like as soon as I walked in the door, I started getting EVPs. Do they always respond to the questions? Maybe in their own way. Or maybe they're, you're just interacting with the residual spirits as soon as you walk in the door. Either way, I feel like the place is hella haunted. It's like haunted Walt Disney up in that hotel. Um,
I love
I've
it.
got, you know, like
That sounds like a good time to meet the most magical place on earth. Yeah.
it is the most magical. It really is. If you're into paranormal, I feel like you'll definitely get your dime's worth out of that location. You can't, I mean, I don't have the hundreds and thousands of dimes to lock that place down because it is an expensive hotel on its own. And it's in an old mill, which is cool and it's historic, and the district it's in is pretty cute too. So I think that that's the draw, for a lot of people. But the people in the paranormal, you go to this room. I mean, if I had stayed up and not been so tired, I wonder what I could have gotten
Well, I don't know. They might have not got cranked it up until you were asleep, and
asleep.
they thought it was safe to start roaming around and doing their thing.
Yeah.
But maybe you said this at some point in time before, but tell me this, are all, I mean, I know not all the rooms are this large,
Mm-mm.
but are there
Oh,
other rooms that are this large, or is this like the only one that's this?
no, they have some really cool loft style rooms. They're almost like little townhomes. Like
Mhm.
you walk in, it's in an apartment, like it's got a living room, and then they have like like stairs to like a loft bedroom. So they have some very large other rooms in this hotel. I think that they kind of had to, whoever was the architect to redesign this mill into a hotel had to be really creative to fill out the space. And I mean, I was looking at some of the rooms online before I figured out that 401 was the one that I needed to lock down first. And I was like, oh, I hope that's the haunted room because some of them are so bougie and cool. And I'm like, man, I could float around that space for hours. And then when I saw that it's 401, I was like, oh, it's actually not one of the prettiest rooms in the hotel. I'm like, damn, that sucks. But I wasn't going for, the looks. I was going for the ghosts. And I mean, and that's another reason too why I use those like images of the tapes because like I normally when I have audio EVPs, I'll do picture after picture after picture after picture like I did with the Washoe Club. But this was going to be picture of the room. Like it's not really gonna you're not really gonna see anything different here. So yeah, it's a if you haven't seen it already, I've got stuff on our playlist of the Brookstown Inn where you can kind of see the layout of the room. It's you walk in and it's a big living room, but it's two beds and a workspace and you got a couch and a table with some chairs and a TV and a dresser. It's just huge. And then you continue walking, you got the bathroom and then another very large area where, I mean, like if you pack like me, you could bring your entire like wardrobe for the summer. I mean, there's just so much room in that area. You could stay there for a good long time if you could handle the ghosts. I don't know. When I got there and I checked in, I don't remember if I told you this, but she was just like, "Oh, you're staying on the fourth floor. Did you know that you were staying like in 401?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I requested it." I said, I'm here for the ghost. And apparently she didn't appreciate that because she just looked at me like, okay. And she said, most people don't like the stairs. And I was like, ugh, I don't like stairs either. And she's like, that's how you get to the fourth floor. I was like, no. Almost made me change my mind because I brought that huge suitcase and another large suitcase of crap that I had to, yeah, but I definitely wouldn't have done it any differently. Going up the stairs on the left-hand side is the original wall for the mill that they've enclosed in glass because throughout the years of the mill being there, people have like I don't know, like carved their names into the stone
Oh,
of the
wow.
wall.
Yeah.
And it's ancient. Like I mean the place was there in the 1800s, so like some of the carvings are just as old as that. which is super cool and could be why, there's so much going on the fourth floor, but also maybe not because I was in the lobby and got a voice. I mean, it just could be that um, it's got a hold on so many spirits.
Hmm.
They loved it so much that they would carve their names into the mill, or maybe they didn't love it so much, but they just wanted to leave their mark
Yeah.
on the mill itself, which is super cool.
Yeah,
Um,
well, I mean, they spent a good amount of their time there, I'm sure,
yeah.
especially if they were working and living there. So it was a huge part of their life. But I had asked
Mm.
about the size of the room I was just
Mhm.
curious if this room gets rented out a lot. If it's such a big
Oh,
room for
it
people that
is.
are just kind of like one night stay or something, it's an excess of space. So I thought maybe the ghosts hang out in there all the time because people don't
Uh,
rent it out all the time. But if they have other large rooms, then that doesn't work.
No, but good point, because I completely forgot when I first got there, and the room, as soon as you exit the stairs, the room is right, like to the right. But you come up the stairs and you look down this long hallway, and you think, geez, this whole floor is just for this room. Like you can't see any other doors or anything. It's really weird. And then you go into this room and it's so long. Like, I'm like, I think that this is the only room on this floor. I was wrong. It is not the only room on this floor. There's like, I think 3 rooms. But if that room is, I mean, that long, if they're all that, I mean, I don't know. I didn't see the other rooms. But I would imagine because everyone says 401 is the most haunted. What keeps them from wandering in and out of those other 2 rooms? How come people aren't saying that those other rooms aren't as haunted? It sounds like they're walking through the fucking walls in my room.
Yeah,
I-
yeah, or like in that whole upper floor where it would have been their living spaces.
Yeah,
Why are they not bugging all the other people in the other rooms of being like, this is not how it's supposed to look. You've got this fucking light in my way. Get your
right.
clothes out of here.
Clothes. I can't move the clothes over. I'm trying to get
Like,
through.
just what draws them all to that one space, I wonder.
I don't know. I actually I think that it's a matter of word of mouth. I think ghost hunters have gone there because they heard that 401 was haunted. So they go and they investigate 401. So 401, 401, 401, everyone's talking about it. And obviously that's why I went there. But as I did more research, I found out that there's some rooms on the second floor that are also haunted. So I feel like it's just a matter of okay, I feel like 401 is definitely haunted, but I feel like it's enough activity that other rooms could be haunted. I have to go back and investigate other rooms. Um, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine that they have repeat customers that aren't into the paranormal, or they have repeat customers that do take sleeping pills and don't hear anything at all. They have the white noise generator going, and they just sleep right through it.
Yeah, my mother-in-law sleeps with like, the earbuds in
So,
or whatever. Like
oh
not
yeah,
earbuds, but you know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
to close
She's
out the
locked and loaded.
noise. Yeah.
Oh, she'd
So,
have no problem. She's their ideal, I think I was gonna say suspect, but ideal customer is who they want. Yeah. Put your earbuds in, go to sleep.
clank,
Yeah,
clank,
but
clank.
yeah, I know, right? Then the boots on the floor and all that other stuff.
Right.
Dropping ice in your bathtub or whatever. Man, I don't. Jeez, it's just, and another reason why the bathroom might have had so much going on, because if that wasn't really there and it was just a hallway just to pass through, when my bag went swaying from side to side, that could have been just energy trying to go through the way that
Hmm.
it normally had.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly
Thank
what
God I
I'm
wasn't,
thinking.
thank God I wasn't standing in that spot, been accosted by some spirit just trying to walk through. No, thank you. But yeah, so there it is. That's what I've got for you for now for the Brookstown. Like and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel for more. There will be more from this location. Might not be too much more. I don't know. I could just be lying. There could be a ton more. I just haven't gotten to the rest of my evidence to review. But yeah, as soon as you subscribe, you'll be the first to know whenever our next episode comes out. You wouldn't want to miss it because if you're into the paranormal, this is kind of, you'll be living for this kind of shit. There's people, just 2 ladies going through their evidence after years sometimes. Look at what we found, guys. But yeah, so we're on social media. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram and Facebook. Everything is under it's COTN underscore paranormal. And yeah, like our stuff, there will be clips from the show. going out on the social media posts and maybe some other stuff if I can find it. We'll see.
All right, perfect. I love it. Thank you so much for that.
Not a problem. Nightmare fuel all the way.
Good night, everyone.
Right, exactly. Sleep tight or wakey wakey, whichever one it is.
All
Bye.
right.